There was time I was posting content online. Everything about my content was calculated. My strategy was there, everything was calculated. My movements, every other thing, it was a calculated move. Even the content sounded so generic. It was straightforward. I noticed that my engagements and my views started dropping. When my engagements and views were dropping, I noticed that people weren't just paying attention to my content. They just scrolled past because they noticed that everything was sounding too perfect. So I started to change my strategy to sound more like a human. So what I did differently was I created raw content. I created content from scratch. Having a strategy while creating your content is a different game altogether. I'll come to that later. But in this particular topic, what I'm discussing is that the way you relay your message, when you set your camera or when you want to write your content, and what people see, what exactly do they see? Do they see a generic content, somebody sounding perfect, sounding like you're not even human? Unfiltered content is the best because it shows people exactly the problems they are facing. People see themselves in you when your content is real, when it sounds human, when it relays a message, and when it shows empathy. When your content has these qualities, it has capabilities to attract the right people to your page. The next is that whenever you are creating content, make sure that you have a content that you create around your niche. You cannot be a food creator and you're talking about sports, or you're talking about a topic that's entirely unrelated to you. First of all, you have to talk about a content that is related to your niche. What service do you offer? What is it that you are doing? When you're discussing a topic that are related to that, you attract the right people by having a strategy that is specifically targeted to people that are facing problems that you can solve in relation to your niche. So whenever you want to create content, make sure that your content is not overly filtered or overly generic or overly trying to sound perfect, so that you at least people will see themselves in you and know that you are trying to send out a message that they also are experiencing daily in their lives. So when I started creating content in the form of sounding human and relating with people, I found that my engagement started increasing. People started seeing my content and people started responding to my content. There are more comments and I felt good because I knew that creating content is not just about giving out something or just leaving something or talking at people. You have to talk to people, not at them. You have to relate with people and talk to people exactly like the way that somebody will actually talk to you when they want to help you out or help you solve a problem. When you're talking as if to say that you're a machine or you're an AI, people will not really relate with your content. So if you have been having problems in creating content, in sounding in a certain way, or maybe if you are shy and you cannot express yourself enough, maybe it's time that you should start taking courses that has to do with training based on your communication. Learn how to communicate through your content. I myself have similar experience, but I started following the right people and finding myself in the right community, finding myself in the right environment where I can gather knowledge on how to create content and how to show up and how to relate with people and how to talk in a way that will actually help people to understand what my message is about and relate with me. So if you have had similar issues, make sure you share your own thoughts in the comments. Let others who are having similar problems hear from your own perspective. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more updates relating to content creation and everything you need to know as a writer and a social media manager. Don't forget to look at the description of this channel to find out what this channel is about.